Welcome, everybody. My name is Brett Thomas Thomas. I'm here with CCP Aurora, and we are watching Brave vs. Abandoned Part. We are just seeing them on grid, and I'm very excited to see this match because I've been waiting for a long time to see how the Triple Nighthawk setup goes against heavy shield battleships. So we have Brave bringing Triple Nighthawk, double Loki, triple Ripple, double Scalpel, which is what we've seen a lot earlier, and we've seen do very well. It was what we brought last match, which ended up in a dumpster fire. CCP Aurora, what has Amanda Part brought?
We're definitely seeing a bit of a theme with those Nighthawks, but on the Abandoned Part side, we're seeing something rather different with the triple rattlesnake cores. So they appear to be heavy assault missile fit, so they are going to want to stay rapid heavy fit. They're going to want to stay pretty close to the Brave team, but that Brave team wants to get on top of them. Those rattlesnakes also have the advantage of having very high shield tank, and actually, wait a second, I take that back. Those are armor rattlesnakes, given the Navy, or given the Pontifex on their and the Thalias on their sides. So those are armor rattlesnakes. So they don't have the high shield tank. They are still going to be very tanky. And as the match starts, we can see the Brave Collective side rushes out to the ABBA team. We see some guards go out, so those are sentry drones that are going to have some trouble tracking, being right next to the Brave team like this, so that's not looking super good. And as this happens, we're seeing a rattlesnake just shoot straight through armor. Just the heavy DPS of that Nighthawk Loki comp, as we've seen before, is just really ripping through it. If he does not catch, it's going to be a big... They're trading for the Loki, which means they're losing webs in addition to some damage, but that's not as big a hit to the Brave team as the rattlesnake loss is to the ABBA side.
Yes, we are seeing Brave bring a bunch of ECM drones, which they've just spread across the entire team, whereas Abandoned Part have brought damage drones to try and maximize the amount of damage they're doing, which doesn't seem to be that effective. We're seeing the jams from the Brave team go to the double Thalia and Mala. So the icons you're seeing on your screen in the fancy UI do not confirm jams, they are just jam attempts. That's the reason why that's the reason why the rattlesnake may not be repping too much, and that's the reason why we're seeing it finally go down for the huge amount of damage these Nighthawks have brought.
And with that second rattlesnake down, this is looking a very poor position. We're seeing almost no more damage being applied to the Brave side. That attack bar on the ABBA side is incredibly small. I'm not sure we'll see another Brave ship go down. You'll notice that ABBA brought a Griffin. The Griffin was very much like an attempt against which Brave pulled against Fraternity earlier, where the hero Griffin just changed the match. Unfortunately, that Griffin was alpha-ed off the field within seconds from the start of the match, unable to make an impact. And as we see the last rattlesnake go down of Rix Javix, the Pirate Lord, that will be the match, I think, for ABBA. There is no real chance for them to claw this back unless Brave decides to suddenly boundary themselves.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brave just didn't bring enough damage. With the rattlesnakes being armor, while they can be really tanky with the amount of lows the rattlesnakes have got, they just don't have as much damage that shield rattlesnakes can bring. Because shield rattlesnakes can fit the missile computers and the drone damage amplifiers into their lows and almost double the amount of damage they can bring, whereas armor rattlesnakes get those huge sets of shield mid slots to use for stuff like webs, scrams, cap boosters to keep themselves up and continue doing their damage, whereas the shield rattlesnakes do a lot of damage, which might have made the difference.
Shield rattlesnakes might have had more of an advantage here. They also needed more distance. If they had been able to drop those sentries and move away from them a bit so that the sentries had an easier time tracking the Brave team, they might have gotten more bang for their buck out of those rattlesnakes, as that is a significant part of their damage. Those rapid heavies very likely did some decent damage. That's how they took out that Loki. But by that point, they had just traded too much for it. It wasn't enough. And the Abandoned Part team is unfortunately going home at the end of this match.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm unsure if bringing sentries were the right choice for the rattlesnake. It might have been best to go with heavy damage drones because we know those apply to Nighthawks, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't flown this rattlesnake comp to know what is best. I've probably done it more in practice and found out sentries are better as we see the last ship go down.
And that is Brave moving on further than I was able to take them in AT16. So good job to Brave. It'll be good to see you in your next match. Well tried, A Band Apart. Unfortunately, this is just not a great matchup for you. And we are heading back to the studio.